Hi, I'm your instructor, Father Perrone. Today on Treasury of the Church, we're revisiting the notes of Gregorian chant, and you'll see how that ties into the rhythm of the chant. Enjoy. I want to begin today with a review of the principal neumes that are used. We touched upon this in the beginning, but it's good to review it and to go at it in a little bit greater depth. First of all is the punctum, the single note, and it gets one count, of course. It's the one indivisible beat. It can take the shape of the virga when it has the stem, but doesn't change the character of the note at all. The virga is usually used in combination with something else. You won't see it isolated. Another single note would be the rhombus. I don't think we gave that the first time we went through the neumes. The rhombus is the diamond-shaped note, sometimes called punctum inclinatum. The punctum inclined, right? So it's on its side, and that is, of course, made with a quill pen with a little turn. So those are the three single notes. Then we have the combination of notes. The other single note that we have here is the custos. And the custos isn't really a note to be sung, as we said. It's a note at the end of a staff indicating the note on the next staff coming. So it is a guide, as it says, custos. Then we have the neumes of two notes. We have the dystropha, or sometimes called bistropha, meaning the two notes. So it'll either take, the terminology changes according to the different texts, dystropha. And if there are three in a group, then it's the tristropha. And of course, it means that these two notes are tied. They are sung as one pitch for 2 counts, or in this case, 3 counts. Then we have podatus. Podatus, there's very fine, you can hardly see it, but there is a 1 and a 2 here. It indicates that the lower note is sung first, then the upper note. The lower note would be a little bit stronger, and the upper note a little lighter. The clavis is a formation of 2 descending notes. We have, usually has a stem here, and then the descending note. And it could be a greater interval here. These are quite close together. Also, I believe that's all we have in the 2-note formations. This is merely a punctum with an ictus point. The ictus means a mark, and here it's shown. Sometimes the ictus can be written underneath the note, and sometimes, as here, it is above the note. Makes no difference. The neumes that are comprised of 3 notes would be the climacus, which is, you see usually 2 notes. It could be more, could be 3. In other words, 4 notes total. There could be 3 of these rhombus notes following the single note. So this would be 3 descending tones. There could be space in here as well. They don't have to be 3 contiguous notes. Then we have the scandicus. We are climbing here, the ladder, and it can take different formations. These are not essential. And it can also be 2 notes, 3 notes, or even 4 notes. We could have another note here, and it'd be 4 ascending notes. We'll see this at the beginning of the Kyrie in Mass number 9, which we are going to review today. If the second note, usually here in this formation, similar to the scandicus, has an ictus point in it, it's called a salicus. And the salicus has the ictus mark, but it indicates a slight lengthening of the tone that bears the ictus point. So the ictus point usually has no value for lengthening a note except in a case like this, in the salicus. Usually it's merely to delineate the first beat of a group of 2 or 3. Then we have a formation, the torculus. The torculus is, as you can see, a formation in which the middle note is higher than the first and the third note. So it is this formation. Its exact opposite is the porrectus. The porrectus has the middle note as the lower of the first and the third. However, the formation of it looks quite bizarre, looks quite strange. You might think that this is a glissando or something, a slurring down, but it is not. The 3 points are the extremities. There's an upper note here, the lowest point here, and where the neum is, where the square note is. So there are your 3 points, exactly the opposite of this, of the torculus. Then I mentioned to you what to take next. The quilisma. And the quilisma is the jagged note. They believe that it was a kind of trill or something like that at one time. There was a quivering of the voice, but it's not sung this way in the chant. And what is done is that this note is given a little emphasis, and then we sneak up to the other notes from it. So it's a kind of taking off from this note. So what you have to remember about the quilisma, it's the note before the jagged note which gets the expression. There's a slight lengthening here. Another expressive kind of neum are the liquescent neumes. The liquescent neumes are indicated by a smaller printed note, as you can see here in the apodatus, and the upper note is smaller in size. The liquescent neum has nothing to do with the value of the note, even though you might think it's a smaller value or shorter note, but it is not. The same thing here with any of these formations. One of these notes will be a little bit smaller, but it is not. It has to do with pronunciation of the word. In other words, when you have consonants that would tend to choke off the voice a little bit, like sanctus, so you have all that sound in there, they would use this liquescent neum to show or to indicate that the sound is being suppressed for a moment. Sanctus, there's a little interruption. That interruption is indicated visually by the smaller note. Right? So that's what the liquescent neumes are about. And then there are 2 more. We have the pressus neum. The pressus means that before a formation, here's a porrectus, for example, and we have in front of the porrectus, we have a single note on the same pitch. It indicates that these 2 notes are tied, this one and the first of the porrectus. So this gets the ictus point. If you remember, one of our rules is that when you have 2 notes in the same pitch and the same syllable, they are together in this way. The first one takes the ictus point. So this is 1, 2, 3. And the same here. 1, 2, 3. And then another 1, or it's 1, 2, 1, 2, depending on what follows here. This, in isolation, we can't tell. And so you see other examples of the pressus neumes. What is called the oriscus is a similar kind of thing. You see the extra note on the same pitch following a formation. And so here are some examples. And so here's the extra note. And of course, the ictus point, or the 1 count, is placed on the first of the 2 equal notes. So this is a 2 or a 3 of a preceding group, and here's 1, 2. And this is the same thing, 1, 2, and this belongs to another grouping, either a rest 2, or a 2 going to a 1, or a 3 going to a 1. So I wanted to review these because we will be using, perhaps I will refer to these neum formations, and I wanted you to have a little bit more clarity about them. Right? So having said that, I want to go back now to our conducting. we had explained to you that there are the two basic gestures in Gregorian chironomy. We call this chironomy. There's the arsis, the wave, the lifting, and then the thesis or the rest. Arsis, thesis, arsis, thesis. And we did a little practice with this. And I recall that when I studied modern conducting, orchestral conducting, that our first exercise, and I think it had nothing to do with the Gregorian chant exactly, but it was interesting that we practiced this gesture. It was the first thing we did with our arms in the conducting class. And it's actually arsis and thesis is what we were doing. So I would like to do that a little bit with you. If you would take your right hand, right your arm, and practice this arsis, thesis, and just make an 8 on its side. So, and get the idea of nice smooth movements. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it has to have a nice dip to it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now I would like to try arsis, arsis, thesis, thesis. 2 of each. So it would be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, of course, I'm presuming here that these are 2s. They could be 3s. If we do them in 3s, we have to make, of course, a little bit longer gesture, right? A little longer, and perhaps a little slower. So let's do it with 3s. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Arsis, dum, ba, thesis, dum, da. Arsis, dum, da, thesis, dum, da. Then we can do alternate. We can do 2 arsis, 2 thesis, and we'll do them on 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We want to make the gestures, I know you don't have a lot of space, you want to make it as beautiful as you can, nice and smooth, to indicate the Gregorian melody and the legato singing, which is essential for beautiful rendition of Gregorian chant. Go to the Liber Usualis on page 40, or in your Chants of the Church book. We are going to Mass number 9. You'll find it on page 22. We began work on this in the last sessions, and we need to return to it. The first thing that we did was the counting, and we are going to remember our rules. The first one is that the printed ictus point, of course, is observed. And you see in the first Kyrie, up to the first double bar, we have already one place where there is the ictus point printed. I just circle in general there, but in that area you can see where the ictus point is printed. Let's see if I can remove that. The next rule that we had was that notes of length take the ictus point on the first of the notes of length. So we have here 2 dotted notes in this clevis. So there's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. And also at les son, 1, 2, 1, 2. There are no other notes of length. So then we come to the third rule, and that is that the beginning of a formation, of a neum formation, any one of these in the chart, would take the ictus. So we have, and they were only 2s and 3s, so it has to be, we start on 1, on this scandicus. You see it's a scandicus of 4 notes. I mentioned that we would point that out to you. We have a scandicus here that means a little ladder of ascending notes. In this case, the chart only shows a 3 formation, but this is a group of 4 ascending. So it has to be 1, 2, 1, 2. And then on the clevis, 1, 2. We already put the dots on the notes of length on the clevis, the dotted clevis. Then On the single note, the virga, that becomes a little group there. We have a climacus, so it's going to be 1, 2. There's a printed one in the text from Solem, 1, 2. Eleison, beginning a new word and a formation, is 1, 2. Le is 1, 2. And it has to be now 3 because we have a clevis 1, 2, 1, 2 as printed. So just for now, I mark with a bracket a group of 3 so that it's clear when we're conducting, you'll need that extra space for the group of 3. So all of this should be a refreshing of your memory. We just want to perfect what we did in the last session. So our basic gestures are the arsis and the thesis. We don't have any other subtlety in this piece anyway, in this first phrase. We always will begin with the arsis, of course. On an ascending group, if the melody continues to ascend, then we will have the arsis. When the melody descends, it'll be the thesis. That would follow quite naturally. We never put the arsis on the last syllable of a word. Because that is not, remember in Latin we don't have the accent on the tonic accent is never occurs on the last syllable. And therefore we never put the arsis on the last syllable. So we would not begin Kyrie on the the third syllable, we would not start with an arsis. We would just know that. And of course, in any other place, there are only, in the Kyrie, there are only 2 words, right? There's Kyrie or Christe and eleison. Even though this is Greek and not Latin, we preserve the same rule. So we can mark this. We're going to start with an arsis. 1, 2. It continues to rise. Another arsis. It goes down, thesis, thesis, thesis. Now at the asterisk, when the choir enters, then we have an arsis, because the melody is taking a turn up, thesis. And now at leison, we know what we're going to do. We're going to have an arsis. We could have an arsis, another arsis, a group of 3, thesis, thesis. So if we look at it, we can conduct 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, dotted notes, 1, 2, 1, 2, arsis, 1, 2, thesis, arsis, arsis, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So when I said 3, this is the place here where we're going to need that larger thesis, arsis to accommodate 3 beats instead of the 2 where I marked the bracket. If we try it one more time, you just make the gestures. I will count and see if we can do it. Arsis, arsis, thesis, 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 arsis, thesis, arsis, arsis, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now let's try counting it. We won't use the Kyrie words. We will count it with me. Let's do that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Do it from here, the 3. Here we go. Let's start up with an arsis and the 3 notes in it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And so the theses, when you will have places in the chant, we have many of them in a row. You just continue to bob your hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. As I said, you can't keep going. It'll be a place where your arm is not going to reach. Right? So you sort of bob in place. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then for your arses, you can move forward again to the beginning. Now, let's see if we can sing it, counting, not using the words, only counting. Here we are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes? One more time?
Yes.
Here we are. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right? If we do one more phrase, at least, we'll be able to utilize at least one other rule about the counting. You can see that the E of Kyrie in the second phrase has already the printed ictus point as the first phrase did. So we mark that, there's nothing to mark there. We mark the notes of length. Here is a dotted punctum. At the end we see the dotted clevis, so each one gets 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. We see here now the podatus. We see the clevis, rather the climacus. And now, if we have here on Ri of Kyrie, if that's 1, this note is isolated. This has to be a 2. Therefore, the piece begins with a rest. We have to write it in. Write an 8th rest, and you put your ictus point underneath the rest. So now we have, I point to it, we have rest 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. This phrase is identical to this. The eleison is the same. So it's only the beginning which is different. So let's conduct this without singing anything. So you're going to give, if you were the conductor, you would be giving the 8th note rest to bring them in on the next. So it'd be rest 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 arces, 1, 2 thesis, 2 arces, arces, arces 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes? We try one more time. It's rest 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, thesis, thesis, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Actually, I put an arcis here instead of a thesis. I did that the first time. All right, so let's sing it once, and we will do maybe the counting and rest. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, please. Rest. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So with the words. Kyrie eleison. Yes. I would like to change my mind. I don't like this arcis. So if I were to change this, I would make this still, we have to start with the arcis. Thesis, thesis, arcis, thesis, thesis, arcis, thesis, thesis. On the E of eleison, I think it's too much to put that arsis there. So let's do this phrase. I would also amend this one here. I would not put the arsis here, although it is an ascending group, but it starts lower than what's preceding. I would say that's a debatable thing. Here we go. We'll sing the second Kyrie. Rest. Kyrie eleison. Now when we sing a chant, as I mentioned to you, very important for the expressiveness of Gregorian chant, is that we have a podatus, that the upper note is quieter than the lower note. We won't sing Kyrie, it'd Kyrie. Here's another one. On the top, we lighten on the top. It's one of the real secrets of good solemn singing, that we don't make these. They're equal in counting, but not equal in dynamics. So let's try singing it with more expression now. Here we are. Let's get on key. And rest. Kyrie eleison. And of course a decrescendo or a quieting at the end of a phrase. Now, a double bar would indicate at least one count, if not two counts. Now, in a chant which begins, let's say this phrase here, we know this is going to be, just to anticipate, this is going to be an ictus point. This is going to be 1. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We can see that. Therefore, and here we have 1, 2. Here's, in between here at the bar line, we'd have at least a count, usually 2 counts. Here, where this begins on a rest, this is 2, 1. I'm sorry, 1, 2, and another group of 1. Then the double bar can take merely 1 count, but at least that. All right? So I just wanted to point that out, that there needs to be time in between when we have the double bar, especially when the double bar indicates, as in the Kyrie, an alternation of choirs. So we have the choir on the left or the choir on the right, or the cantors versus the whole schola. That's indicated by the double bar. And I mentioned to you also that in some of the Kyries we have IJ, and IJ. In this case we do not have it because it's through composed. There is no repetition. You have to go back and repeat a phrase. All right, so let us sing the first 2 Kyries now that we are confident, with the chironomy and with good expression and good diction, and that's all. Just do it perfectly. So we get the pitch. In choir, in performance, this would be sung by a cantor or cantors, a schola, up to the asterisk, and then the choir would commence at eleison. So we get the pitch. And Kyrie eleison. Rest. Kyrie eleison. This Kyrie is an exact duplication. And remember, we did make a little correction here, right? This is, I changed this to a thesis, which makes much more sense. And we see that the last Kyrie is quite a bit longer. Perhaps we could look at the last Kyrie. Our notes of length are going to be where? With here, the dotted note. Here's another. Here is our oriscus. We finally get to one. You see it? The oriscus, the note that is pressed together. Where's our oriscus? Right? On the end. Here's a note of length. There's a dotted note. Here's a dotted note. There's a printed dotted note coming, but there's one here. And of course, at the end, we always have the same concluding formula in this Kyrie. So we can see immediately we're going to start with a rest. 1, rest 2. Here's going to be 1, 2. We have a dotted note, 1, 2. On this torculus, we have 1, 2. And then at the end of the line, there's the dotted note, 1, 2. The next line is going to be, has to be 1, 2. And we see coming up a printed ictus point. So this has to be also a group of 2. And then we have, notice this, I'm going to bracket it. You see the group of 3? The printed ictus point, 1, 2 on the rhombus notes, and then we have 3, and then we have, and the oriscus has to be, the ictus point has to be here, as I indicated, right? We see coming up a dotted note. So this is going to be 1, 2, the printed one, the dotted note 1, 2. And this has to be also 1, 2 in view of the coming dotted note. We have 1, 2. We see 1 coming, so this is going to be a group of 2. We see again, we're going to bracket it. There's our oriscus. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 groups of 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes? We're all in agreement on the counting. All right. So perhaps we can do this Kyrie. Can we do the chironomy for it? Let's try. We're going to start with, of course, the arsis. And because it continues to rise, we can put another arsis. On the last syllable of the word, we cannot use the arsis. It must be thesis. 1, 2. We didn't put the ictus point here. We better put it in. It continues to decline. 1, 2, 1, 2. We could start the arsis here because we're starting to ascend. 1, 2. We could have arsis again. Thesis. Thesis. Arsis. Arsis. Thesis. Thesis. Arsis. Arsis. Thesis. For the group of 3. Thesis. Arsis. Arsis. Thesis. And then here's our familiar phrase. We know this so well now. Arsis. Thesis. Thesis. Arsis. Thesis. Thesis. It's a little larger on the screen. I would rather read it from here. So, we start. Rest. Kyrie. Arsis, arsis, thesis, thesis, arsis, arsis, eleison. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll tie together everything we've learned so far and maybe even start to do some singing. I'm Father Perrone. God bless you.